show with restaurant critic and radio host Peter Dills. Peter readily admits to being born into the world of food, as he is the son of noted restaurant critic Elmer Dills. As far back as he can remember, Peter was following his father from restaurant to restaurant, always tasting, always learning about food and discovering new and exciting restaurants and travel destinations. As his food adventure comes full circle, he now stars on radio and television with his popular food and travel show, Dining with Dills, named after his father Elmer. And now, your host, Peter Dills.
All right, everybody, it's Peter Dills. It's another podcast. We're going to do a little something different today. We're going to, on the farm. You know what, if you're into real estate, a farm is somebody's territory. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, I want to thank our friends at Eat Local. Eat Local. They've been a new company, a new place where you can actually donate money, and the money goes to helping local restaurants. So today we're going to be talking about South Pasadena. I'm sitting down with somebody that knows South Pasadena very well. He lives there. We're going to talk about food, walking around South Pasadena, and without further me jabbering on, Jason Bergman. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
All right, so you live in South Pasadena, and you actually went to South Pasadena High School. Tell us before we talk about real estate and food, tell us what attracted you to South Pasadena first.
I grew up there. I went to Holy Family as well, which I think is a fabulous school. South Pasadena High School was also absolutely incredible. In fact, it is the top 25 school districts in California currently.
What makes South Pasadena so special? I mean, it not one thing, but many things.
I think the history of the people that have lived there for years, the community. You've got Mission Street, you've got the local eateries, and just the people themselves really make up the community. The parents are really involved as well, which is a lot of fun.
You know, it's a nice community, and I think what you just said is probably reasons why people don't leave. But it's a food show, and Jason, I know we're going to talk about real estate in just a couple minutes, but let's talk food just for a second. Give us some of your favorite places to go and hang out in South Pasadena.
Number one on my list, breakfast or lunch, would be Las Parrot Cafe on Huntington Drive. I do enjoy Gus's Barbecue, which has been a staple in the community for years on Fair Oaks. For dessert, I typically bring a new pie for a listing appointment. That's going to be a key lime pie from Heirloom on Meridian and Mission there.
So, you know, Shakers is up there in South Pasadena, place for breakfast. Place I go to a lot is the Canoe House. They've got really, really good Mai Tais. But when you're doing an open house, obviously, because you're into real estate, and let's say somebody comes in, they're going to make an offer, where would be that go-to place just to have a cocktail on a Sunday afternoon where you guys could just sit and talk a little business over a good cocktail?
I would say Aro on Mission Street, right on the corner there. They've got a really great, maybe 10 seats outside, and on a nice day on Mission Street when it's spring, summer, it's wonderful out there.
What about a breakfast spot? Saturday morning, Sunday morning?
I would still go back to Heirloom for that, or Las Parrot Cafe, which makes a great breakfast and lunch.
We're here to talk about food. We're here to talk about real estate. And if you guys have known me for a while, and if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes or TuneIn, however you're listening to it, there should be a little place where you can make a comment. So if you've got a favorite South Pasadena restaurant, don't be afraid. Go ahead and make a comment about South Pasadena. We're going to be talking to real estate agents for the next year, visiting different cities. But today, our spotlight is definitely on South Pasadena. A city, South Pasadena, where people can definitely grow their roots and live there as a family, great schools. But is South Pasadena predominantly homes? Are there condos? I know on Fremont there's a lot of apartments, but is it primarily residential?
Mostly residential. There's a lot of single-family homes there, and there are a lot of apartments, specifically on Huntington Drive, and as you get closer up Fair Oaks towards Gravellia by Bristol Farms.
What's the population of South Pasadena roughly?
Ooh, you're going to challenge me to that.
I can guess 40,000, 45,000.
I would say it's up there. I know there's about 5,500 homes that's mixed with condos too.
What kind of buyer is South Pasadena attracting right now?
Buyers that come there are looking for schools. It's a lot of academia. You've got a lot of professors and doctors that work over at Keck. A lot of USC. My USC people are there. There is a lot of, and South Pass offers a lot of different elementary schools that are award-winning, and the high school. So there's a lot of different ways of looking at it.
Jason Bergman, South Pasadena, his farm, but actually your real estate office is located in Pasadena on Lake Street.
That's right. I work for the agency. We're in the corner of Lake and Cordova, which has its own array of food we could talk about another time.
Yeah. What surprises first-time home buyers about the area of South Pasadena?
A lot of people don't realize that South Pass is its own city. It's not Pasadena. It's actually its own city. South Pass is on its own, and it's got its own police, fire, all that stuff.
For listeners that are curious, Jason, do you have anything that is on the market in South Pasadena? I mean, somebody could, it doesn't have to be your listing, but just tell me what they can look for right now.
Depending on when you're hearing this podcast.
Very soon, we hope.
And if you're hearing it a year from now or 5 years from now, I would say right now I have things off market that I can't talk about in the air.
Okay.
But you could go ahead and go to Peter's side or my side and find out more about that anytime.
All right. Well, South Pasadena and San Marino, those areas are really nice. What are you looking for in a starter home in South Pasadena? 1.2, 1.4?
I mean, you could probably get into a condo starting in the high 900s, get into a single family home fixer like 1.5, 1.8, and then usually you're looking at around $2 million, $2.25 million to get into the market.
You're listening to Peter Dills. We're calling the show The Farm. If you're a real estate agent or there's a lot of people that title rep, we can get you involved on this. Very easy to get a hold of me. My website, where you can Google me, Peter Dills, or you can email me, Dining with Dills. That's diningwithdills@gmail. I write for a bunch of local newspapers. And today we just thought it would be fun to talk about real estate and food in the South Pasadena area. Jason Bergman is with us. Jason, we've got about 2 minutes left. If someone wants to talk listings or buying, no pressure here on the Farm Report. If you have questions, what's the best way they can get a hold of you, Jason?
My website is jasonbergmanrealestate.com.
Say it again.
jasonbergmanrealestate.com. My phone number is 626-394-0900, which I do answer because I get about 20 fake spam calls a day. So
I was just thinking about that driving over here. I don't know what happened, but mine are down to about one a day. I was getting so something must have happened.
My Google profile I'm out there to the world. So
email.
Yeah, Jason@jasonbergmanrealestate.com or j.bergman@theagencyre.com.
Website?
jasonbergmanrealestate.com.
If you want to understand the city, talk to someone who knows how it works in the city of South Pasadena, where to eat, or just want to come by an open house and talk about food with Jason Bergman, South Pasadena. And as always, support local, eat local. We'll be talking about that. And talk to Jason. He knows the neighborhood of South Pasadena. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to our first edition of The Farm Report. And again, if you are listening to TuneIn, podcasts, Spotify, wherever, there should be a way for you to leave a comment. And please do so. Jason, thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, you guys, over and out. Thank you for listening to The Farm Report.